Yesterday, I think you all know me, I stepped out here and I simply asked these two gentlemen to please, anytime you're trying to kind of, spread Christianity or talk about it, if you mention the word Islam, you kind of be gentle with it because I believe that both of them were kind of affecting Islam indirectly because they're kind of reinforcing these stereotypical Muslims, bad, terrorists, polygamists, all these. So I was imploring them, and so we got too deep in the conversations. And Mr. Cliff, right?
Just Cliff.
Cliff, you informed me that you asked me a question. Should I, as a Muslim, believe a man who was born after 500 years of the disciples? And according to you, I did not answer your question, but what I said, I believe it goes back further than Muhammad was mentioned in the Torah. You disagreed with me. You disagreed. And then you resumed the question and you still assume that I didn't answer it. I brought the evidence that Muhammad is mentioned in name, in Hebrew, in Solomon, Song of Solomon. And I simply wish of you to read it out loud. Because it's right here actually.
Sure, I'll read it out loud. It's Song of Solomon 5.
In Hebrew.
16?
In Hebrew.
No, I'm not going to read it in Hebrew.
Oh,
Nobody
no.
here speaks
Hebrew matters. Hebrew is everything.
No, Hebrew's not everything. Language is language.
Complete differences in the Hebrew. You gotta be careful,
but
bro.
know something. Arabic names.
Every Hebrew scholar I've talked to does not think that that's Muhammad.
Arabic names have memeaning.
You're pulling it up on the internet.
If you take, oh no, that's not internet. I have a similar name. And I know what it means. Don't tell me it's internet. No, that's
Look,
me.
We're glad you're here. We love you. We respect you. You are totally wrong when you say that the Song of Solomon talks about Muhammad. Sir, Muhammad wasn't born till 570.
It's just like Jesus was mentioned in the Old Testament. He wasn't born by
Jesus is not mentioned in the Old Testament as an historical person.
Why don't you read it out loud in Hebrew?
Didn't you hear what I said? Jesus is not mentioned in the Old Testament as an historical person.
Something about the lady who's pregnant, she steps on the snake, right? I think
that's not saying Jesus. Jesus is not mentioned in a document that is written before his birth.
I'm here to talk about Muhammad, though. I'm not, if he's not mentioned, then my bad. But I have here a verse in the Hebrew language. When it got translated. Okay, I don't know how to read, but there is...
You don't know how to read it?
I don't know, but I know that the word is there. Read it out loud.
All right.
It says Muhammad. Here it is. Why did you turn away? You're here to help me.
No, I'm not here to play games.
I'm not playing games.
Yes, you are.
No.
You're playing games.
I think you're blinded, sir.
You're blinded because you're playing games.
No, I'm not.
Fine, I'll read the passage. Song of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 16.
In Hebrew.
No, I'm going to read it in English for you.
No, it's not. You took the name.
His mouth is sweetness itself. He is altogether lovely. This is my lover. This my friend, O daughters of Jerusalem. There is no mention of Muhammad in Song of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 16.
Why does it say we kullu Muhammadim in the
That is not talking about an historical Muhammad. It's not even referring to him, sir. You're playing a little semantic game.
It's not game.
You want to play a game? We'll go play basketball, okay? I'm not out here to play semantic games.
Why do you refuse to look at it? You're afraid.
I won't look at anything.
You're afraid.
I just read it for you. You want me to look at it? I'll read it.
Look at it and read it in the Hebrew, and then see the translation and see what happens. That's all I'm asking of you. I'm not asking you the impossible. Read it in the Hebrew and see the translation and see what happens.
Okay, so let's move on to... Okay, we'll keep talking.
Okay.
How can we trust the Quran? Why is it reliable? And we'll compare it, right, to the Bible.
It's the same example right here.
This is a joke. A joke. Yes, it is. It's a total farce.
You're calling the Hebrew language a joke?
No.
Is that what happened?
The linguistic trick you're playing is intellectually dishonest. The Hebrew is not talking about an historical person, Muhammad.
You still haven't read it, by the way.
I did read it.
No, you didn't read it out loud.
Oh, I'm not going to read it out loud. If you want to read it out loud, go right ahead. I read out loud
I already did.
that verse out of the NIV, a very accurate translation of the Hebrew.
But then, it's not accurate.
Yes, it is accurate.
The name Muhammad means the one who is altogether lovely, which is the thing that you read.
Yeah.
But then when you translate the name Muhammad to altogether, you miss the name Muhammad. If you became the masters in the biblical religion, you will never recognize it was Muhammad because the name was taken.
You have masters in it. Do you have a master's in it?
Well, apparently, man, he doesn't know, man. He's laughing and he's walking away.
You're playing a game.
Why is this a game?
Sir, you've got to learn to defend your faith better than stringing some words that don't mean Muhammad and acting like they do. that's talking about a lover in a love poem, the Song of Solomon. It's written 1,000 years at least before Muhammad ever lived.
I don't know. It is true that I don't know Hebrew, but I know very well that Muhammadim, the im in the end of the Hebrew language refers to a person who is highly respected and to be a prophet. That's the im. It's just like Elohim, but hey, you know Hebrew.
Now let me ask you, who raised Islam out here today?
Here?
Yeah, who?
It's the same concept.
Who raised Islam out here? Did I do it or did you?
Not me, no.
Yes, you did.
Yes, did.
We were talking about atheism and agnosticism. You stood up here and raised Islam. So stop accusing us of raising Islam.
Because you're using
I
it
have
to hurt
told you that I
people.
respect you. I
Yes,
love
you
you.
indirectly hurt
No,
me. You
absolutely
indirectly,
not.
Every time
You're the one who raised it.
You're
Now, if you're going to jump into the kitchen, it gets hot.
You're not listening to me.
Yeah, you're not listening to me.
You're not listening to me.
You don't listen to me either.
You are enforcing the stereotype.
I'm not enforcing
Hurting
anything.
people.
You've
Talk about
interrupted,
Muslim.
and you're
Talk about
talking
Muslims, how
nonsense.
like bad, how they're terrorists every time you talk about it.
I never said that once.
You mentioned
We said the
it.
opposite.
It was you.
Muslims are not all terrorists.
You mentioned how Muhammad was violent, and you did not give
Muhammad
me
was violent.
No, you
Surah 9. Surah 9, Muhammad writes, kill the infidel. That's violence.
Kill the infidel
That's what
to attack
He never
you.
carried a sword. Never. You're right.
Muhammad
attacks you. We already
Look,
talked
we don't
about
want to
this.
talk about Islam. Why are you forcing us to talk about it and then accusing us
I'm
of raising
simply
it?
asking you to recognize people and
No, you're not
them.
asking. You ask a question, I begin to answer, and you interrupt me.
You need to
You're not
recognize
asking.
Islam.
I did read it.
Okay, but you didn't read it out loud, and you're still not.
I'm not going to read it out loud.
I'm here to convince you
Because it's a
And yet-
false translation.
No,
And I'm not going to read it.
Go through every synagogue. I bet you know some rabbis in a lot of synagogues. Why don't you go ask them, and they will tell you the same thing. I dare you.
I got many rabbi friends. I meet with them on a regular
That's
basis.
good news,
And
man.
they are intellectually
You make my
honest.
heart-
The Old Testament never once
man.
talks about Muhammad. Never once.
Go ask
And
them
neither
this
does the New
part.
Testament. It doesn't
Go
talk
ask
about
them
Muhammad.
this part. And make sure you ask many
And
of them.
by the
Don't
way,
ask
we
one.
respect you, and we love you, and we're glad you're here in the
No, you
United
don't.
States.
You're not
So
listening
don't
to
lump
me.
us into a stereotype.
No, you're not listening.
We celebrate Muslims being here in the United States. We are here to defend you. But when you're intellectually dishonest, and when you lie, we're going to call you on it.
And you haven't
I
read
still
it.
respect
and you. Still haven't read it.
I just did read it. You gave it to me and I
you
read
didn't read it out loud.
I'm not going to read
makes
it out
all the
loud.
difference in the world.
You can read it out loud.
Oh, actually, I already did. وَكُلُّ مُحَمَّدٍ. That's what it says in the Hebrew.
Thank
when
you.
it got translated, they took the name Muhammad, who means altogether lovely, and they say this guy who is altogether lovely. So everybody in the world right now is not going to know that Muhammad was here. Could you please comment on that?
No. Why do you trust
No,
Muhammad?
because you can't.
Oh, it's easy,
Oh,
sir.
because you
Any
can't.
Hebrew
You're running
scholar
away.
can tell you that Song of
away.
Solomon, chapter 5,
Very
verse 16,
sorry.
is not talking about a dude who was born in 570 AD and lived till about 632 AD.
And yet here
Muhammad.
it is.
It's not talking about that. It was written 1,000 years before, so it's
yet
not
here
talking
it is.
about Muhammad. It's not. And you're intellectually dishonest if you say that. The same way
yet-
I would be intellectually dishonest if I said the Old Testament mentions Jesus of Nazareth. No, it does not, guys. The
know,
Old Testament was written
just
BC,
wanted to say it's as
before
simple as
Christ.
this.
The Old Testament
Google
never
Solomon.
mentions the word Jesus.
Google Solomon, and it would be there.
Sir, your Muslim friend wants you over there. Why don't you go
Oh,
and have
actually.
a good day over there, okay?
Solomon 5:16 in Hebrew, and you'll see it.
All right.
Think of me, I'm crazy, but just make sure you have time for it. to
We
see
are
it.
glad you're here in the United States. Welcome. It's good to have you, and I
wish
appreciate it.
I
Okay?
had answered me.
I have answered you.
No, you
You don't listen.